Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of The Amazing Spider-Man issue 29. Yeah, really like this cover here. It just shows, it's just a really good cover of Spidey, and just like, oh god, he's in some trouble. And granted, this issue kind of deals with that, but it really digs into Otto's motivations for what he's doing going after Norman, and some weird, interesting stuff going on with Spidey, and we then get a surprise appearance. So, we start off kind of after what happened. Spidey was choked out, and we're like, what the hell? Somebody's telling him to stay still, relax, if you're gonna be a baby, don't look down, and like, what the hell? So, I do like the effectiveness of like, why are we so disoriented right now? Like, granted, he did get choked out by Otto Octavius, but now we see that Jonah and the tentacles are getting Peter to safety, and he screams afterwards like, ah shit, quit squirming, you do this to people all the time. It's like, he's got a point. So then we see that we pretty much get into Jonah's apartment. He's like, what the f... You'll be safe here. Whatever Otto did to Oscorp's computers, they were going crazy. And Pete's just worried about Norman. He's like, Otto's got Norman. Where did he take him? And he's like, does anybody know where Osborn's at? And then we shift to Osborn. And he's got this strange looking helmet thing on. And we're seeing that he's looking at something of like the Goblin. Like, I figured out every single little thing about you, Octavius. I'm going to take everything from you. Where he grew up, the lab where your had your octopus-related accident, all of Doc Ock's greatest inventions under lock and key, the bottling plant where you saved all those people from being blown up. He just starts blowing them up. And we see this as his time as Superior Spider-Man. And those metal arms, based on your old designs, so pathetically easy to hijack for a real genius. Of course, mirroring what Otto was able to do to Norman. And then we shift over, and we see that Otto's like, that's enough. And Norman's like, what are you doing to me? He's like, oh, aren't they compelling images? And we learn that they are Otto's memories. Let's see, here's like, yeah. I do like the effective use of like the green color with Otto and all that. It just really works well with the art style and everything. And of course, he's like, they're of your actions. Yes, a reminder of what you took from me, of the debt I've come to collect. What is that thing? And he had been on a journey of self-discovery, using this trifle, the Beyond Corporation salvaged from Parker Industries. Again, the Beyond Corporation was pivotal in previous arcs, and we see that he's using, and of course, Otto as Superior Spider-Man utilized Parker Industries and everything. And we see that there are parts of his memory that have been taken from him. He suspects something infuriatingly supernatural, and he'd hoped that this contained them. It did not, but it did hold the record of you impossibly outsmarting me. It's like, oh god, and of course this is where we see it getting in his crawl. And that if you wanted me to feel shame, your wish was fulfilled. But now I have outsmarted you. I hacked your costume, I blew up your life, it is you who are shamed. Say it! Say it is you who are shamed! And the funny thing is, he wants to work to get that, but Norman's like, it is I who am shamed. And Otto's like, I appreciate your honesty. He didn't expect it to be that easy. He's like, now we really get to work. It's like, huh. And I do kind of like how they're kind of confused in the background, his little tentacle people and his octoids, and then they're like, huh, okay, that was kind of easier than what I thought. So we then get back to Pete and Jonah trying to like figure out what's going on. Pete being like, okay, he's got to have some kind of hideout. Those arms have to have an idea where it's at. Jonah's like, man, they're tuckered out. I think they're taking a nap. Jonah, I know you're going to attach those arms, but they're how Otto got access to Oscorp to begin with. Hey, I know these things, and there's no way they knew anything about that. And then it starts going clack, 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 and then we see some weird shit coming out of it. It's like, what the fuck? But I do love how Jonah's defending Otto's tentacles, and that it feels natural. Like, I can understand how people would be like, this is a weird kind of thing for Jonah to do, and I understand that weirdness. First kind of go around with this, I was like, this issue is kind of weird. Not to the complete level of like the dark web kind of stuff, but again, which we kind of get back to a little bit in here, but I do understand how it's been like, this is kind of strange for J. Jonah Jameson to be doing. But I buy that he would get attached to him. But then we see that the tentacles are trying to, like, go after Pete. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, get him off me! And he, like, tosses him and it breaks a lamp. And Pete's like, your pet grew teeth and tried to eat me. I don't care about your lamp. And I love the effective change of to red font in, like, emphasizing certain kind of things. It's really interesting kind of stuff because it's comic medium. I like that they change up certain kind of things and do that. It's like, okay. And Jonah's like, those aren't teeth. Those are... Okay, I have no idea what those are. I love that he tries to explain it, but then he's like, actually, I got nothing. And then Pete's like, I think they could be spinal interfaces. It must be how he connects his nervous system to the arms. It wants to connect with you? I think so. I guess that's kind of flattering, right? Right? Yeah, depending upon what it wants to do with you. So then we get a little diversion of elsewhere. We see the police find a woman webbed up. And then we see these dogs running away. It's like, what the fuck? Spidey got another one? Freeze, freak. Will you get me down from here? Sign's not as witty as usual. You're welcome. What's your deal, lady? You got a gun? No, I don't have a gun. I'm a dog walker. It's like, what the fuck's going on here? And then we see that Wreck-Rap is back. It's like, oh, okay. Now, granted, it's like, hear this, puppy and prisoners of York City, Newtown. None of you are safe. So says the web-wanging warrior Wreck-Rap. That's right, true believer. Wreck-Rap is back. Will he help Spider-Man? Probably not. Will he save the city? Certainly not. Will he not show up until a later story arc? But we didn't want you to forget him and Ed really wanted to draw him? Yes. Okay, listen. This is weird and just kind of put in there because Ed wanted to draw him. Ed McGuinness, the artist. I can actually take that. Like, I love that they have a little bubble explaining it and being like, he just wanted to draw him. And I'm okay with that. And I'm like, yep. And just seeing him kind of do his weird kind of things and potentially kind of like having to be dealt with later, I'm fine with. It's like, okay, it's been a while, and it's like, all right, it doesn't really... This is actually the best kind of point to kind of do this because it's not really detracting from anything, and it just gives us a little kind of breathing room. And then we shift and we see the kind of main crux of Otto. First was the kind of shame from Norman, and then he's like, okay, you think you can fool them, but you'll never fool me. I know this idea that you're reformed is a ruse. I've stolen every Oscorp file from your mainframe. I'm breaking the encryption now. Your master plan will soon be known to me. I will expose it, and then I will destroy it. Otto, there is no master plan. And this is kind of funny. Otto is almost unintentionally trying to be a hero here, but that's only if Osborn is acting evil and still being the Goblin. However, it's like, normally you'd be like, Osborn usually has plans within plans doing crazy shit. He's like, oh, it won't be long now. Are you sweating? I'm comfortable. There's no master plan. Ha! We'll see about that. Electric plasma jet engine. The fuck cares about an electric plasma jet engine? What are you hiding? As he then just starts laying into him with his tentacles. Tell me your plan so I may blow it up in front of you. Otto, I'm not lying. I'm sincerely trying to make up for the harm I've caused. We'll see about that. And I love the craziness of Otto just being unable to accept this. It's like, what the hell, man? Well, and of course we kind of keep going further on. And I love how Jonah's like, you're doing this, Peter? We're talking about connecting my nervous system to the appendages of my greatest enemy. Give me a second. And I think it's interesting that Peter acknowledges Otto as his greatest enemy. He's definitely got quite a few. I would normally put that on Norman as the Green Goblin. However, he's not the Green Goblin anymore, at least at this point. So, Otto, I definitely think, would probably be the bill for that one. Especially with everything that's gone on with Venom, Carnage. Kraven's usually a decent adversary, but not really on the level of what had been going on with Otto and Peter lately. If these things were where Norman, if these things know where Norman is, this is how they want to tell you. No use being a baby about it. Okay, I'm ready. Come on, Peter. Sometimes you can't make an omelet without jamming some spikes into your spinal cord. Do you feel anything? I think so. It kind of tickles. It's not so bad. And then it's like, oh god, it's bad. This isn't good. And then it starts going kind of nutty dude on a nutty day. It's like, that's bad. Cut that out. You get an auto epidural and then you cut it out. It's like, I love the banter back and forth between Peter and Jonah. He's like, oh wow, that's weird. Why do I feel like I've missed this? Are you okay? I need tools. It's like, whoa. And I kind of like the kind of shifting kind of nuttiness of this page with the different kind of use of the panels and then Pete's face like that. And we go back to Otto being like, this can't be. You can't be reformed. You're a fraud, Norman. Fight back. Show me the goblin inside you. Ugh. The goblin is gone, Otto. I've changed. Why can't you accept that? Because I wasn't allowed to. And that's a big thing. It's like, really? What? Why did I say that? My god, did I try to... Is that what I've forgotten? Never mind, I'm not here for introspection, I'm here for revenge. And if you have truly freed yourself of the goblin, then that is what I'll take from you. It's like, god damn, Otto, that's wrong. But I do like that he's like, he wasn't allowed. It's like, you kidding? Granted, you've done some crazy ass shit. However, you could try and be better. I mean, it would be great to see Pete try and reform some of his old villains and old rogues and have them become heroes. And then, of course, there will always be other ones that pop up that he has to take care of. And then he's like, bring it to me. Bring what? What are you doing, Otto? I hope you have convinced yourself you're good, Norman. I hope that warm fantasy comforts you at night, because you're about to lose it to this, as his octoids bring him something glowing in a case. And then, of course, we see that Jonah's like, I can't believe Norman gave you a key to his apartment. He gave it to me in case I ever needed to check on him, to make sure he wasn't up to no good. And here I am playing with Otto's toys. But how am I working so fast? Why is this so easy? Jonah looking at some painting sicko. It's like these arms aren't telling me how to fix them, they're reminding me. So we see him like adding certain kind of stuff, spray painting it. And Jonah, holy crow. An octopus isn't the only thing with 8 legs, as we see that Spidey has turned them into Spidey tentacles. Well, Spidey legs now. It's like, oh, okay. When I first looked at this, I'm like, that's weird to do. But again, kind of going through it again, kind of reviewing it. And also, as we notice, it is back to a classic kind of Spidey costume, which I don't know when that shifted up. I don't know if that is on purpose or if that is a mistake. But it looks really good. I love the art for it. It looks amazing. It's just kind of weird to get your head around of like, Spidey's got Otto's tentacles on, and he Spidey-fied him. It's like, alright. It's not that I hate it or anything. It's just kind of so out there to me, that out there and kind of wrong. Almost like when you lose a tooth and you're like picking at it and you're like, this is weird. And you're like, tongue in the damn hole, and you're like, what the fuck? This is weird. But it looks awesome, and we'll have to see how this kind of works out and how long it'll be. So we then shift back to Otto and Norman, and Norman's like, don't do this, you've outsmarted me, you won, that was never in question, it was inevitable. I can feel it. You took something from me, I can never get back, and now it's my turn to do the same. As he then pretty much gets up like the goblin formula. And Norman's pleading to not do this and waste it? Are you kidding me? Do you know how hard this was to make? No, please, as he then injects Norman with it. And he's like, yes. And that is where we end off. So we then also see the cover for the next issue, issue 30, and we will have to see what goes on if this turns him back to the Green Goblin. If, since Otto made it, there's different kind of formulation in it that it doesn't completely turn him into the Green Goblin, but potentially into some other kind of goblin or whatnot. Almost like it does a different kind of reaction with his body because it's not made of the same kind of way. Because with all these kind of things, it's almost got its own artistry, even though it's a science, because you never know how somebody's going to do and create this kind of thing. So we could get Norman back as the Goblin with this route, which would be an interesting way to kind of go for it. We might have more of him being the heroic side, trying to fight the evil side, more like, which we have seen, but have more of an actual physical presence of that, with the goblin persona actively fighting him to harm people or whatnot, and see how that kind of works out. And how Pete's going to have to deal with that, and what he's going to have to deal with the tentacles and everything, if that's going to become a new kind of thing for him, or if this is a one-time thing for him to fight Otto, if he will turn Otto back to give him more of an explanation of why he feels like he's lost something like this and everything about his memories. There's a lot of things to be going on here. It's like, holy shit. And this is after just coming down from the whole what did Peter do thing. It's like, damn, I'm excited to see what's going on with this. Now, granted, I could definitely understand how people are like, wouldn't be into this. We've got Peter using the Otto's tentacles. We've got Otto acting completely crazy and injecting Norman with homemade goblin juice. So I totally get if you're not into this. This is definitely a weird one. But I'm digging it so far, and I can't wait to see where it kind of goes. So, those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.